Well, ladies and gents, fall is finally here. And today I'm going to be talking about my 3 favorite lures to be throwing during this time of the year. Now I just want to thank you guys for clicking on today's video. Make sure to hit that like button to see more videos like this on your YouTube recommendation page. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button to see more of my videos. Now obviously fall means colder water, which means you're going to need to switch up your presentation from the summer. This also means you're going to need to fish some different areas than you would during the summer. And different presentation, different location, all ties into different lures. Now number 3 on the list is going to have to be a spinnerbait. Spinnerbaits are very good for searching a large area of water in a very fast fashion. This means less time spent fishing unproductive areas, less time spent looking for hungry fish, more time spent catching fish, which is what we're all out here to do. Now my absolute favorite place to throw spinnerbaits is in and around cover. Now cover is different than structure. Cover is fallen trees that have gone into the water, man-made docks, any type of piling sticking up out of the water. Could be some big rocks, anything that really isn't a solid part of the ground or earth. Now spinnerbait color and the blade type is going to depend on the water you're fishing. Murkier water, you're going to want darker or brighter colors to contrast with that murky water. You're also going to want bigger blades on your spinnerbait to put out more vibration and let those fish know that your bait is in the area. On the contrary, in more clear water, you want to throw a more natural color like green, brown, or anything that matches what the fish are eating in your body of water. Now my favorite color of spinnerbait is white. That's because white does a very good job at standing out in dirty water, also does a very good job at mimicking natural bait in clear water. I also just seem to get the most bites on white spinnerbaits. Not exactly sure what it is. Pretty sure it has something to do with what I just said, but it catches fish. That's all I know. And that's all you need to know. Now what I like to do with these spinnerbaits is find whatever cover it is, whether it's weeds that are still clinging on to life, trees, docks, rocks, anything. I'll start by throwing them around the outside of whatever cover this is. This will get any aggressive fish to fly off out of their cover and attack your bait. And after working the outsides enough, I'll move in a little bit, maybe another foot or 2, start working it tighter to the cover. And from there, if I'm confident that I won't lose my bait on whatever I'm fishing, I'll throw it right down the middle, reel that in nice and slow, let it bounce off whatever I'm fishing. The good thing with spinnerbaits is that for the most part, you can cast them straight into something, they're just gonna bounce right off. Instead of getting snagged, this is gonna be good for reaction strikes. Reeling it slow is gonna let them see your bait longer. Just a very good way to catch fish. You can also use these spinnerbaits in open flats or even drop-offs. So if you have a long ledge that goes shallow to deep, it's a good drop-off. You can just cast along this whole drop-off with a spinnerbait until eventually you get a couple fish in one area, and that'll tell you where the fish are sitting. Same thing goes for flats that they might be feeding on. You can fish a whole flat with a spinnerbait, cover it all relatively quickly, and save a little bit of time rather than fishing finesse the whole time and covering water very slowly. Now number 2 on the list is going to be weightless soft plastics. These are super useful for when you find the fish, you know where they are, and you want to work an area very slowly. Say if you know some fish are held up against this tree, along some weeds on this drop-off, whatever it is, you can just cast your weightless soft plastic out past where they are, let the thing sink a bit, slowly work it into where the fish are. And this to them is going to look like something dying, a very easy meal because it's moving very slowly. And the good thing with soft plastics is they look pretty realistic to what the fish are eating. So you're going to give them time to look at it, they're going to see your bait, and they're going to be convinced that this is something that they can eat and get a nice easy meal out of. Little do they know they're about to end up on your Instagram story. Now I say soft plastics because things like stick baits, creature baits, craws, literally any soft plastic works very, very well during this period of time. The soft plastics I find that work better is anything you can throw out and has action while it's sinking. Say if like you wacky rig a stick bait, the sides are gonna be wiggling as it comes down. If you have a craw, the paddles are gonna be flapping as it falls down. Anything that has some action while you're not even reeling it is gonna do very well during the fall. Now these weightless soft plastics are gonna be better for your slightly shallower water, we'll say 10 feet and shallower. You can use them weightless out past that depth. The only downside is it's going to take pretty long for your bait to fall all the way to the bottom in deeper water. However, it is a very good tool to use if you have some set structure that you know is in one area. Let's say you worked a tree with your spinnerbait, you put it around the outsides, put it in the inside, got the fish off of it that would eat that spinnerbait. Now you go into the soft plastic, do the same thing, work the edges, work as far into that cover as you can without getting hung up. And that'll get those slightly more finicky fish. I tend to find that a moving bait is very good at finding them, but finesse baits are very good at catching them. You can get a good amount of fish on moving baits, but I think you really dial it in when you start throwing finesse baits after you found those fish. You just seem to get a lot more of them to bite. Now, of course, there are scenarios where that's not true. There's always scenarios in fishing where all common sense goes out the door and the fish are doing something completely weird. But for the most part, in my experience, finesse baits will catch them, search baits will find them. Now for number 1, this is my absolute favorite lure to throw during the fall. It's gonna be a black and blue jig. Now in my experience, for a trailer, I've had the most success with black and blue craws. You can use different kind of creature baits or anything you really like for a trailer, but I think just the 2-paddle crawfish trailers work the best. Now with jigs, you can fish them the same as your soft plastics. You can go around the edge of cover, right in the middle, work everything you want. You can also fish your deeper cover that's under 10 feet. Jigs will sink pretty fast. They're easy to work in deep water, but they're also very effective in open water as well. A fish will see your jig from very far away. It'll think it's a crawfish, a bait fish, and it'll come just suck it up. And that's one of the best things about jigs. They can imitate a very wide variety of natural forage that these bass are eating. But what I think the best part about fishing with a jig is that you can throw it into the thickest cover possible, and you can have confidence that that jig will not get hung up on anything besides the inside of a fish's mouth. I've thrown these things into beaver dams and had them come out spotless, and I'll throw them 3 more times and I won't get hung up on anything until it's something with fins and gills. I just think it goes without saying, absolutely laying into a fish with 65-pound braid is a joy unlike most others. Now I have videos on my channel how to fish spinnerbaits, soft plastic, and jigs, all separate videos. They go into more detail on how to fish each bait. And if you'd like to learn more on how to fish with each bait, I will link those to this video. However, I appreciate you guys watching and sticking around to the end. Anybody who watches all the way through and see these outros, you are the best. I wish all of you all the luck in the world fishing this fall. I hope everyone breaks their PB, catches whatever fish they want to. But most importantly, I hope everyone gets to spend time out in the water, because that is the most important. Thank you guys for watching today's video. And again, make sure to leave a like if you like this video or found it useful. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to see more of my face on your TV. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you on the next one.